Okay. Talking fun. I got another head cold again, so I can't. That's why I haven't been making videos. At least now I can talk. But another thing, I do not have cancer, so don't. I just have cancer in the title, so I don't want anyone thinking I have cancer. Um, but there's something I've been meaning to talk about. I've done this before, but I've had this on my mind since Thanksgiving, and I actually made a couple of videos and then deleted them. This is something that really it's I just got to get off my chest, and so many. I've done this before and offended a lot of people, but I'm not trying to offend anyone or criticize anyone that has been directly affected with the cancer or anyone that has cancer. Okay, or if you have a loved one with cancer or something like that. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Okay, so if I do this in a couple of videos, it makes me very angry. This topic. Okay, so it's hard for me to keep my emotions out of it, so to speak. So basically, I'm talking about cancer. I think I can do this in 3 small videos instead of one big one. And if I do that, I did one that was like 25 minutes, and I end up railing the whole time. So what am I doing? Let me start with because of my family's business. We were in the golf business. We still are, but since 1951 we've been in the golf business. And when I was a little kid, we'd go to school, and where the other kids went home and played with other kids on the block or maybe with the sports, we went to the business with mom and dad. And so it's just the way it was. No big deal. It wasn't a bad thing or anything. But that's where, they didn't do daycare or nothing like that. Mom and dad took care of us. They worked till 10 o'clock at night, and we stayed with them. So we're either at a golf driving range or a golf course, one or the other. And so since I was a little kid, because we're dealing with golf, since I was a little kid, up until now, I have spent the majority of my time with older white guys and Mexican guys. Mexican guys, where I live, in Central California, large Hispanic population. Love these people. And golfers are typically 45, 50 and above, at least pre-Tiger Woods. So here I am as a young kid, 5, 6, 7 years old, all the way up into my 20s, 30s, 40s, where you meet someone you met them when they were 45, you see them turn 50, 55, 65, this kind of thing. I got to see a lot of that. So I got to see a lot of people. Unless when I said this, you might deal with 4 or 5 people a day who were in these parameters every day. And a lot of golfers, they do this thing every day. So you might see the same guy 5, 6 days a week. It's a 7-day-a-week gig. So I got to see these guys go through all kinds of stuff, this age group. But I also got to see them get sick. I see them deal with, divorce and layoffs, but heart attacks, strokes, cancer, maybe terrible accidents, this kind of stuff. Where someone you see on a regular basis, all of a sudden they're gone, and then if they survive whatever happens, you see them again and they're in different shape. Hey, what happened? Oh, I got this cancer. I got this stroke happen. Yeah, I'm all, this kind of thing. So I got to see a lot of this. A lot of people go through these episodes my whole life. And specifically, I saw people going through cancer. I knew him before, I knew him after, I knew him during. Hey, where's this guy been? I haven't seen him in a month. Next time he comes in, he's blown up, his hair's gone. And so I have a lot of that experience. I've seen a lot of cancer as growing up as a kid and into an adult, and seeing its effect on people. My family, I had my one uncle who had cancer, which I think he was misdiagnosed, because other family members had the same sort of thing he did, and it was something else. Although his doctor said no, this is cancer, and they just cut him up and radiated. He survived and died later of stroke. So my family we don't do cancer. We do strokes and heart attacks, Alzheimer's, this kind of thing. Okay. So if there's a chance that cancer is in your future, maybe not, maybe not. But if you might be 50 or 30 or 25, hey, this could happen to you. It would behoove you to pick up a new topic. And not to be a downer or anything like that, but I think we know enough people. I mean, I see people getting this cancer all the time, especially here on YouTube. We have a lot of friends here dealing with this. But if this could happen to you, which let's say it could, you would want to pick up a new topic. And I would call it cancer survivor topic or whatever. Maybe I'll put that as a title. People that have survived cancer or people that have, whatever. You'll see where I'm going. But you might want to learn of those things now. Not that you have to. You just might want to kind of have this floating around in your mind now, just looking at these things. So if it ever does happen, you have enough information where you can make a fast decision. Okay? Now, why do you need to make a fast decision? Maybe you get up tomorrow, something's sore that wasn't sore before. Maybe you got a lump. Maybe something's bleeding. Maybe there's some kind of pain going on. Or maybe you go for some super physical, and they're checking you out for your health and wellness, and they see hey, we got a spot right here, or whatever, a mass or something. And now you're being notified that you could potentially have something that is cancerous. And then they move you to a specialist, and you're concerned, and the specialist says, yes, we believe this is it, or we need to go in there and see, or do this or do that. Now, typically before I would take anything or have something applied to me or have someone cut on me, I want to have time to sit down and go, okay, tell me everything you got. Then I'm going to go back and research all that I can, and then I'll make a decision. The problem is all that research, whether it was YouTube or internet or whatever the case is, all that research could take you 6 months to get enough information to really make a decision. And I'm talking about whether or not you're going to go with conventional medicine or something alternative. I might need 6 months worth of serious research so you can make a good decision. The problem is you're sitting there in front of that doctor. He's telling you, hey, this is bad. We need to act now, today. Because if this is what it's thinking is, we need to jump in there as quick as we can. We need to get this thing started. We're either going to cut it out, radiate it, chemo, whatever the case is, and we need to act now. And most people, because they're afraid and their family's afraid, they end up making, well, okay, we need to act now. I'm really not sure about this, but the doctor says, oh, here's what we do, and it's blah blah. And you figure he's a professional. This is his expertise. He knows better about this than you do. You're not researched in these things. You've not Harvard trained or whatever. And so you follow the lead of this doctor, and he sends you down a path. A path that he's been trained on. This is how he does it. Okay? I'm just trying to see there's another path out there. But if you do not have your information, you need to make that fast decision. And like I said, you might need to research something for 6 months to get a better idea of actually what is going on with you. Is this really cancer, or is this something else? Or, I don't think I agree with their treatment. I think this treatment's insane. There must be something else I can do about this. Why do I have this thing anyway? Where did it come from? See, there's answers to all those questions. But you don't want to have to make that sitting on a cold piece of paper in that cold bench of theirs as they're telling you we need to act now before this gets ahead of us. Because they're going to send you on that path. And I mean, most people, I wouldn't now. Before I would have. I would say, well, let's do what the doctor says. He must know it. I don't have time. I don't have the knowledge to make a better decision. I'm going to put my faith in him and follow this doctor, his advice. I would do that now. I know too much now. So The if what I'll do is I'll put a link down below to a video. This was let's see. Yeah, I'll put a link down to a video about a guy who cured, I don't want to say cure, but stopped his cancer. Okay? And he's also on this channel. He's being interviewed by this guy whose name escapes me. But anyway, the guy is named Tibbins, is the guy who stopped his cancer. I'll explain that in another video. And you'll watch his video. And then go back on this channel where he's being interviewed. Watch other videos on this channel. And there's many channels like this. This is just, and I'm not saying you have to do anything that these people are doing or have to follow them or if they're correct. Most of them, the things that they did to survive their cancers, I would not do just because of the information I have where I'm coming from. I would attack it differently. But the reason I would have you should look at these things is see what these people were told, what they were told to do, and then what they did outside of conventional medicine, and their results, and all kinds of different stuff these people did. Like I said, I don't agree with most of them, but it's eye-opening. And the reason I bring this up, the reason you need to make this a topic, if you're going, put all these worldly, whatever stuff we're worried about here, Virginia or whatever, you need to be focused on you. Okay, especially this particular item. There are people that have survived cancer, and you might want to hear what they have to say. In case there comes a day when you're sitting there and a guy says, we need to act now and get ahead of this thing. We need to start tomorrow. We need to get you in here. We need to cut it, radiate, chemo, do all this kind of wild stuff. And you need to be able to sit there and go, no. If that's what you choose to do, no. I'm going to pursue something else. You can always come back to a doctor. They'll wait for you. I mean, but there's always that sense of urgency. So people make that fast decision. You do not want to be put in a corner where you have to make that decision knowing full well that you don't know enough about what they want you to do. And in the back of your mind saying, this may not be the way to go, but you don't know anything about it, and therefore you put your faith in someone else. This is a topic you need to have, you need to be aware of. I've already gone 12 minutes. Anyhow, I'll check out this video, hear what this man has to say. I do not agree with, I take it back. I'll make another video about him. But yeah, it's a guy, his name's Tibbins, and check out his video, and then check out other videos that are on this particular channel. And there's millions of channels that do this. It's not very common. But if you're not into this kind of stuff, these people, this, that, you're more into guns and whatever you need to get into this stuff. Because if this happens in your future, you don't want to be one of these people that has to have someone else put you in a corner and get you in a, you have to end up doing something may not be the best for you. I'll shut up. And the guy's name is Tibbins, but I'll have the link down below. Love you. God bless.